Hello to everyone. From this lesson on, we will solve the practical SQL questions commonly encountered in the real world. The playlist will cover a wide range of intermediate level questions and provide the technical solutions and address these challenges. These questions can also be relevant for interviews, making a valuable resource for aspiring data analysts. In addition, we will provide datasets and solution codes for each task. This will allow you to not only watch and learn, but at the same time practice the task independently. So you can copy the provided code and work through the solutions by enhancing your SQL skills and get a hands-on experience. Okay, let's try to solve the interview question. Suppose we have two tables called employee table and employee salary table here. And our task is to find all the rows where the employee position is equals to manager. Okay, but right now we don't have the employee positions in this table inside of the employee table. Instead, we have the employee positions in another table called employee salary. Guys, usually when we normalize the data, we separate them based on the given information. For example, the personal information you will put in one table, or professions in one table, or the details or the payment details will be located in another table. That's why as a data analyst you should know it, you should get used to that in the future. So in that case we need to pick up the data from different tables by using what? Joins. What are the joins? Joins are the common IDs which are related to both tables here. You could see both of these tables has employment IDs and both of them are equal. For example, employee table, employee name John has an employee ID called 1, and hence employee salary also have employee ID 1. So we will do what? We will join these two tables based on this employee ID to extract these manager positions from this table, because this manager position is related to this employee name called John Smith. So our task is, the first task is just to extract the manager positions from this table related to these rows, and the second task is to just create another column and combine the first name and the second name of this table, like John and Smith. Okay, let's try to solve this task in our database. I will open my database and I have two running databases right now, but I will create a new one called, for example, interview database. Click save, click on this save button, and it will do what? It will create a new database for me. So inside of the schemas I will create what? Two tables called this employee and employee salary tables. I will pick up both of these tables from here. These links, I will provide this link in the description below, so from there you can just copy it, like me, copy it and paste it to your database here, like this one, and it will do what? Automatically create employee table and insert some data here, and employee salary table inserting this data. If I click run, it will say that couldn't find the specified data, couldn't find the specified database. Why? I might need to refresh it. For example, refresh this database and try to open these tables from here. Query tool, I will open the query tool from this database, because I might locate another database. That might be the problem. If I paste the code here again and click on the run button, it will return successfully our query. And if I try to refresh it, it will create what? Two databases, two tables here. If I just try to add in the query tool and select these tables, select, for example, all from employee, this is the first table. Okay, this table has this employee name and employee surname or last name, and the second is employee salary, right? I will try to select it too, and you will see we have these two tables, and right now we need to do what? Extract all the rows where the employee position is equal to manager. If I go back to my employee table, I could see that there is employee ID here, as well as this employee ID is located inside of this employee salary table. So the first thing that I need to do is to select employee name, for example, employee F name, and employee surname or L name from this employee table, and run this again. It will do what? Just select two columns, because we don't need the ID column here. ID column is only needed for connecting two tables here. That's why we need it. Okay, in order to join another table, I will type in what? The left join, because this left join will just print out all the rows in the left table, in the employee table, and all the common rows inside of the employee salary table. Instead of the left join, we could also use the inner join, where if we have, for example, the equal number of, for example, employee IDs, it will just extract common rows from both tables. But I will use the left join because both of IDs are equal. For example, employee salary and employee table both of them have 5 IDs and all of them are equal. So I will try to left join it to the employee salary. Let's try just to run this code and see what will it print. It will say that we have a syntax error. Why? Because we haven't defined it based on what we want to extract it, right? If I try to type in the on for example, employee table, employee ID, this one, let's try to select it first. This employee ID is equals to this employee salary ID. We are trying to do what right now? Join these two tables based on the ID column, employee ID, because the employee ID column name is equal in both tables here. You could see inside this employee salary table, employee ID is called the emp ID. So let's try just to run this code here, and it will just select the employee name and employee surname here from first table, but we haven't selected anything from a second table, hence we are just able to do it. Why? Because we have already connected to the second table here and need to do what? Just extract something from the second table. Okay, let's try to see what we have in the second table. We have only one column, specifically two columns, but I need this one column here from the second table. So I will type in what? Employee position from this table, right? If I try just to run it here, it will extract all these 3 rows. Okay, these 2 rows come from first, and while this row comes from the second table. But I have decided to make this a little bit simpler, because I used to do it like that. For example, I will give an alias here. The first employee table will call E, while employee salary will call E1. And instead of this employee salary, I will put in the E1 here and E here, because of the simplicity of our code. If I run it again, this will print out the data here. To be more specific, I could do what? Add in the E to the this first name, E to this last name, while E1 will be added to this employee position table, because E1 is the alias name for this employee salary table, and that's why we have called it as E1. And it says just extract the column from E1, while E1 is the name of this employee salary table. If I try to just run this code, it will again print out the result. And now what we are going to do, we're going to extract all the rows where the employee position is equal to what? Manager. So we need to do what? Add in the where clause here. Where employee position. What's the employee position here? E2 emp position. We have already called it like employee position, this one, E1, not E2. Employee position is equals to what? Equals to, we want to extract all the rows where manager, employee positions equals to manager. So if I try to run this code here, click on the run button, you could see it will extract all the rows with the employee position called manager. And now we have another task. We need to do what? We need to add in one more column here between this employee position and last name, and concatenate employee first name and last name. In order to do that, I will do what? Between these column names, I will add in one more column here. It will not give an error after commas in SQL, don't worry. I will just need to do what? Add in the comma here after this row, after adding the second column name. So I will use what? The concat function, because we are going to concatenate two columns here, employee first name and employee last name. So the first will be E first name, E dot emp f name, and then the separator will be what? The space, and after the comma, the second, the E emp last name, L name. This will be the last name with E character. Why? Because we have called employee table as a E alias here. After this one, we will put in what? The comma here. If I try to run this code here, click on the run, it will do what? It will combine these rows and extract it to another created column here. The name of the column you can see is the concat. I can even do what? Add in the alias for this column as well. How you should do it? You should just type in the S and type in the F, for example L, and add in let's just be combined. Okay, and let's try to just run it again. Click on the run, and you can see we have just renamed these column names and extracted all the rows where employee position is equal to manager. This is the great interview question which might be useful for you in the future. So I will just try to do what? Copy this code and put it either on the GitHub account, from where you can even download it from here. I will put it here, and also to my Jupyter notebook. I will put this link to the description below. From there you can do what? Copy it and use it in your database. SQL, put in this code. I have already run my Jupyter notebook. Why do I need this Jupyter notebook? Because I want to just save this data for the future as a portfolio. Maybe I have already loaded this SQL. I have explained how to add in these lines, and again connect this Jupyter notebook to the database. I have already explained in my previous lesson. I will put even the description below. So I will try to run it here, and it will say what? It will give an error and say that employee does not exist. Why it doesn't not exist? Because here I have done what? I have connected to another database called MyDB. So I will copy this code here, go to my new line again, and paste it here inside. Instead of the MyDB, I will add my database name. And what's the name? Interview database. I will add in the interview database here, and do what? Just try to comment it and run it. And right now I will do what? Again run this code, and it will select and extract the exact data here. And later on we will be able to do what? Just export this whole bunch of code to the GitHub account, from where you can just show off with your portfolio. Okay, I think that that's it for now. Thank you for watching this video. In the next lesson we will try to do more tasks related to these SQL questions. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye.